Welcome to the Fishing Musicians Fishing and Travel Adventures.
Hey folks, my name is Glen Ferguson. You're a host of the Fishing Musicians, and we sure do have a treat for you this week. We are in Labrador, Canada at Awesome Lake Lodge. Our guest host is Jim Blewett of the Isaac and Blewett Band of New Brunswick, Canada. We also have Mick Emmons, owner and operator of FishingLabrador.com, and my good buddies Brian Fitzpatrick and Stuart Stanger. Previously, we had you in Brazil, the Amazon rainforest on Mexiana Island in the northeastern portion of the country in the Amazon Delta. We went for jungle walks.
He had an alligator.
We went jamming. And we also went fishing for piranhas in the deadly waters of the Amazon. Plus, our boats were stuck and I had to push. We were in search of the world's largest freshwater fish, the pirarucu, but no luck, but lots of adventure. Now we are off to Labrador. Our journey starts in New Brunswick with Capital Airways taking us on a private plane to Goose Bay International Airport. From Goose Bay, we also have to take a 1-hour float plane to Awesome Lake Lodge. It's the only way through the heart of the Labrador wilderness. We have some great fishing, folks, and play some great music, so stay tuned for an awesome show.
Keep those reels screaming. We'll be right back with the Fishing Musicians. The Fishing Musicians is brought to you by
Capital Airways, Atlantic Canada's premier air charter service, and Ferguson Audio Productions, one of Atlantic Canada's finest video and audio post-production studios.
Welcome to the Fishing Musicians Fishing and Travel Adventures.
Folks, we're with Bob Hathaway of Capital Airways here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Bob, it's a real pleasure to meet you, and thanks for being a sponsor on the Fishing Musicians. Tell us a bit about charter flights. They offer charter flights here. They've got jets, they've got Navajos, they've got planes. It's the ultimate way to go, folks, and Bob's going to explain to you why it's so economical and so feasible.
First, thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity. It's glad to be part of the Fishing Musicians program. As an avid angler myself, if there's fishing involved in anything, I'm all over that for sure.
Excellent.
Capital Airways offers a variety of different charter services, ranging from single-engine charters, where we maybe do a sightseeing trips, or some of the other more security-based issues, patrolling different sorts of regions for customers and clients. But where we find that the biggest growth areas for our business is in the executive charter side of things. We operate a couple of twin-engine aircraft for that. One of them is a prop-driven aircraft, and the other one that we see behind us here is our jet. And we actually offer the only jet charter service in the entire Maritime provinces that's based right here in the Maritimes.
After a night's sleep, or I should say a short night's sleep in Goose Bay, we did her up, and we did her up good. Now it's time to go to Awesome Lake Lodge, and the only way to get to Awesome Lake is via float plane. Sometimes you may or may not get in on your schedule. It's all sight flying here, and what an incredible sight we saw that day flying into Awesome Lake Lodge. My musical guest this week is Jim Blewett of the Isaac and Blewett Band in New Brunswick. This is a very special trip for Jim. He lived in Goose Bay from 1965 to 74 and has not been back since. So he has a lot of personal emotions happening right now. For us, it's first time personal emotions. Waiting to catch that big ass fish. Upon arriving at the Awesome Lake Lodge, you will be graciously met by all the host guides and cooks.
My name is Mick Emmons. I came to Canada in 1986 and took over the Awesome Lake Lodge from a gentleman called Len Rich in the year 2000. It's a unique water system in Labrador. What you have here is a river system. We have Awesome Lake, which is a part of the headwaters of the English River system. And it's unique in the sense that it only has brook trout. So what has happened over the years is that the brook trout have become very vicious towards themselves and will eat any small or any distressed fish they come across. And they grow large. I mean, we have had brook trout over 8, 9 pounds coming out of this lake system. We have guests that recount stories of larger fish that you can see them under the boats here. This water is crystal clear. You can see down 20 to 25 feet. And in fact, on a clear day, the brook trout will school under the boats, using it as shade from the sun.
Across the lake here, folks, right across from Awesome Lake Lodge. In fact, you can see the lodge back there. And we haven't visited here. This is only our second afternoon here, first day actually out in the middle of the lake. And we've got this amazing waterfall and the wind of the mountains as the backdrop. What a spot. You can drink the water here. We'll get Mike to try to test it out after on the camera. You gonna try it out, Mike? Uh-oh. Whoa. I got a fish on. Now watch this, folks. I got a fish on here, and they're oh, geez, I got something else on now. There's something else on it. There's a big one that's got it now. Look at that! Holy jeez! Look at that! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Ah! Holy man! Woo! I had a small fish on like that, and this great big fish came up and grabbed it. Oh my God, that was a big one.
That was a 6.5 or 7 pound fish there.
There we go. Nice shot there. How big's that one, Brian? 3-pounder, another 3-pound trout. And those are small for this place. Not that it's small, but I'm trying to tell you that you can catch 8-pounders in here. It's giving you a fight, eh, Brian?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't like the look of Bill.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Beautiful fish, though. We'll get a nice close shot of you, Brian, with that. That thing just came up and really grabbed it, eh? When you... Do you have any extra of those flies you're using? Look at that. Yeah, this black one was sinking. Oh my God! Holy! Now I got one on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woo! Yes. So I was reeling in that small fish, and this great big speckled brook trout took this fish. Look at that, folks. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Look at that. Look at that. I was reeling in that small fish, and this great big trout came up and grabbed it. Oh my God. Oh, geez. That was, I must have had 3 different fish on there with that small little fish that I caught. Just dropped it down here. I'm using a longer rod today that Stuart set me up with. And man, oh man, they were coming up after that thing. There was a bigger one on than that. Oh, come here. Folks, you're watching the Fishing Musicians. We are at Awesome Lake Lodge in Labrador, Canada, sorry. Awesome fishing here, brook trout, incredible. We'll be right back with the Fishing Musicians. Hey boys!
Woohoo!
Keep those reels screaming. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Fishing Musicians Fishing and Travel Adventures.
Playing music with a fella from Manitoba, a cello player. And I was never around a cello player before. We've been together 9 years. We got 5 albums out and he's my best buddy. I lived in Goose Bay from 65 to 74 and became very attached to the people and the land. And I've been gone for 32 years. And I've always wanted to come back, and I got this opportunity. And it's not like coming home. It's more like coming back to a space that's so primitive and so real that you really feel grounded. I feel extremely centered. The place has been like this forever. You walk in any direction, and you won't even come across anybody.
Okay, Jim, it's even darker. We lost the first one. Keep that no slack on the line. You got to keep it nice and tight. Okay, let me get the net here. That came right up for your bomber there, didn't it?
Unbelievable, man.
Okay, can you bring it around to the side here?
Yeah.
He wants to run. You let it go, okay? Hard to see. Where is he? Can you bring him up a little bit? I can't see him. Big too. Yeah! Woo! Rock and roll, buddy! Okay, we don't have a glove here. This is going to be an issue.
Okay.
This is going to be a big issue here. I don't want to hurt this fish. Can you grab the net?
Yep.
Jim,
Look at that.
that is a beautiful trout. Way to go, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Far out, man.
Awesome. Oh! Okay, let's put him back.
And thanks a lot.
Excellent
Unbelievable.
job.
Died and gone to heaven.
It's now time for Deep Woods Thoughts.
As I sit and I remorse about the things that reminisce me.
A voluptuous smell engulfs my nostrils, and I believe that it's strained with the wind that blows about us.
It's beautiful.
Deep thoughts drop like the rain from the skies above. And as the mist touched my mind, I am closer to it. It. What is it?
I can dig that, man.
Destiny is before us, my friends. In Labrador, time stands still.
Destiny's Child.
I got a call here. Come on in.
Hey man, you guys having any luck?
The time is a river in an ocean of space. And though I think I am not, I am.
In the same thing.
Far out, man.
We're locked in a groove. We'll be right back. You're now entering the cave.
Welcome to the cave, folks. As you can see, I've got my beast of a bass here. It's a 6-string bass. Why a 6-string? Well, it's got 2 extra strings. It's got a low B and it's got a high B. And depending on what kind of music you're playing or why you're playing the bass, the first reason you might have some great use for it. A lot of bands, like those heavy bands like Nickelback, use them. And a lot of bands, like in Celine Dion's bands, for example, they use this that low B sound to really get it. Think of a band as a hockey team, for example. You've got the goaltender. Well, the goaltender is the drummer. You've got the defenseman, who is the bass player. Now, if you're not working as a team when you're on stage, like you are in a hockey team, you're going to fall apart. The bass and the drums, it is essential that you stay tight. I'm going to show you basically what the 6-string can do. Play a couple of funk beats and a couple of blues riffs as well. And that's pretty simple. That's kind of my music, and that's something that I like to do here. So I'm going to play this here. Let's go. Maybe we'll start with I like it nice and loud in the studio, by the way. Funk. There you have it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. That is the bass. Great big strict 6-string bass. It has lots of good uses, but you know what? If I had to play with 1 string, I would just learn how to play it together as a team. That's my advice to you. Thanks for watching The Cave. Let's get back to some great adventures on the Fishing Musicians. You're watching the Fishing Musicians, and we are at Awesome Lake Lodge in Labrador, Canada. One of the world's finest speckled trout fishing locations. So good, in fact, that you won't even have to leave the dock to get your quota of trout for the day.
You never moved for it? Okay, Billy, you ready for him? Yeah. I don't know if he's ready for you, but... Hey! Way to go! You gotta love it, eh? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Got the fire? Get the boat fingers. Take another one.
Have you seen them come up to the boat when you're releasing these small ones, Terry? See the big ones come up? I've heard stories about big fish coming up.
Yeah, they will.
Nice little brook trout. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. Look at that. Beautiful little fish. Catch and release, folks. That's what it's all about. Conservation. There you go. It's nice to bring your buddies fishing. I got Stuart Stanger over on the boat and Brian Fitzpatrick. Well, Stuart's got a big fish on here, folks. Another huge trout. We're at Awesome Lake Lodge. Here it is. Look at this. Look at the size of that, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come to Labrador, you come to Awesome Lake Lodge and you catch fish like that. That is a speckled brook trout. That is a big trout. That is the biggest brook trout I've ever seen. There are monsters in here. What a fish. It's monstrous. How big is that fish? It's about 6 pounds. Well, folks, Awesome Lake Lodge in Labrador, Canada. All the folks here are amazing. You come here, you fly into Goose Bay, and you take a float plane with one of the most magical flights you could ever imagine through the wilderness of Labrador. It's true Canadian through and through. Mick Emmons is the owner of Awesome Lake Lodge, and he's been running this lodge for a few years, and he's had some great success with all his clients.
Here at the lodge, we can only accommodate 8 people per week, and we're open approximately from the end of June to the end of August each year. We offer a 7-day package, fly-in. We work Sunday to Sunday, flying into Goose Bay on a Saturday. That way people have 7 full days fishing. So for each guest we have 1 guide, so we have 4 guides always on staff. And also we have a cook and a husband and wife team who do some very homely cooked Newfoundland meals. The lodge itself, we have a main lodge which accommodates the kitchens and the eating area and the relaxing area, as we call it. Off that we have a wing that has full facilities, showers, flush toilets, washing machines if needed. And then from there you walk down a short walkway to the guest cabins. Each guest cabin is there's 2 single beds in each cabin with a wood stove. Also we have facilities where you can store your rods outside the lodge. And then we have a big patio deck where a lot of people tie up their rods and store their waders. There's 2 ways to communicate with the lodge. There is the traditional fringe radio, which has been around in Labrador for 30 or 40 years, whereby you talk on basically an open radio system and works extremely well. And of course, for people that need to be in the modern age these days, we have a satellite phone to link to the outside world. I mean, this week we've seen various wildlife, as you know. We've seen some eagles, we've seen some caribou, and I think that's the experience that people like. It's not just the fishing, they like to come out and experience the outdoors. It is a unique experience, and I encourage anybody to come up to Labrador and see what we have to offer.
And we encourage you to go to Labrador as well. The sights and sounds of Labrador is truly everything I had imagined. And I will be back. I'm sure most of you watching right now, the angler, or maybe you're just an adventurer, have heard of Labrador, and most have wanted to come here. Maybe it's because of the unknown, the remoteness, the culture, the people. All of these intrigued me, and I'm so glad that I've been able to come to Labrador and Awesome Lake Lodge. It's been a dream for as long as I can remember. And I'm so happy to be able to bring Jim Blewett, and even more so bring my good friends Brian Fitzpatrick and Stuart Stanger. And even though they couldn't sing worth crap, they sure love to fish. And it's sure nice to bring old friends fishing in one of the world's greatest locations, Labrador.
Can't get the fish if your line ain't in the water. Go, Kurt, go. Where's the bum one?
Next week on The Fishing Musicians, our Labrador adventure at Awesome Lake Lodge continues. And then we are in the mackerel capital of the world, my hometown, and the hometown of the wild pitch band, Bathurst, for some amazing mackerel fishing and a lot of loud fishing, too. This is like a curling game, man.
You gotta kiss your mackerel, okay?
Tell your friends, tell everyone, tell the newspaper, but be warned.
Children in bed. Don't let them watch this episode.
Wait, excuse me. Help here. Where's the guides?
The bloopers.
The aqua tundra cries for its needs.
Can I stop sweating now?
Labrador. Door.
The bloopers.